Hello, my name is Eric Von Connors. I was just a normal guy until the night I learned what I truly was. A half-breed. Half vampire and half angel. I had all their powers and none of their weaknesses. Save for one. The bloodlust.
Call me Sparx. I'm a collective, a being destined to fight for the positivity of all life. I can control lightning, and I became a vessel for Fukaku, the demon god of destruction, one of the leaders of the Lost Dimension, the House of Pure Negativity. When we learned that our entire lives were for the amusement of the creators of the universe, truth be told, we gathered our friends and enemies, and we killed them.
Also on that faithful night, I discovered the Order, a group dedicated to safeguarding the delicate equilibrium between good and evil. Get ready for a journey through the supernatural, where vampires, angels, and lycans coexist, each with their own struggle and triumphs. Come along with me, and together we'll embark on an adventure into the most epic tales that will defy even your expectations.
And in results, we were given their power. Multiversal, god-level power. But in results, we angered their race, the Lumalaya, who, in return of us killing two of their own, threatened every single life in all universes. Now, with my group, my brother, and Fukaku, we go about and build an army from all universes, keeping them safe at the same time, ready for the war to save the idea of life itself.
Welcome, my friends, to the Order.
We are the Mysteries. Within Order and Mystery. Chapter 4. The Misfits. Leo joined Eric and Tasha as they walked through an underground town. So, where are we? Leo asked.
There are locations around the world where the supernatural have made a social lifestyle. These towns will be underground or deep within mountains or forests. This is just one of many.
Eric explained. Seems kinda cool, Leo stated. Leo scanned the area in front of him. Tasha and Eric watched as his eyes shimmered with blue as he read the streets filled with demons, vampires, werewolves, fallen angels, and those humans who had worshipped all fell in love with the supernatural. He read their energies, the soft, the sharp, the spiked, the nasty, the peaceful. He saw the hatred, the love, the peace, the agony, the pain. Energy-wise, there was not much difference to the energy flow to that of a normal human town. What do you see? Tara asked him. Life, Leo said with a small smile.
Come on, we better get going. The Order ain't well liked here.
Eric ushered. Leo followed the two Order members as they led him into a small house. A small humanoid with a mouse head, dressed in a blue cardigan and brown trousers, and a smart shine to his black shoes. Oh, Eric, Tasha, who is this? The mouse humanoid said, his nose twitching as he looked at Leo.
Hey, Monty, this is Leo. He's a new friend. Leo, this is Monty. In the simplest terms possible, he is a humanoid mouse.
Eric stated. Nice to meet you, Monty said as he tilted his head. You seem like a nice guy, Monty. I can tell, Leo stated. Yes, Eric and Tasha have always treated me with some respect, Monty confirmed. You seem very nice, Monty, Leo said with a smile. Why have you guys visited me? Monty asked.
We need contact with the guys,
Eric told the mouse man. The guys? Oh yes, of course. I can send a message, Monty replied.
The harbor at 7 p.m. tonight. Tell them to be careful,
Eric told him. Okay, you got it, Monty said.
And Monty, be careful yourself. There's a new threat in town, and we have to make sure everyone is safe,
Eric told him. Thank you, Eric. I'll make sure I stay out of the way, Monty nodded. If you need us, Monty, just let us know, okay? Tasha said with a small grin. Thanks, Monty nodded with his mousy ears twitching.
Come on, we better get going,
Eric ordered. The three of them said their goodbyes to Monty and stepped back outside. They looked around and saw a squad of vampires sat outside a bar-like establishment. Glasses of blood sat next to them on a small table, their fangs bared as they stared at Eric and Tasha. Tasha let out a deep, animalistic growl.
Tosh, it's not time for a bloodbath. Or, well, in this case, a dust bath.
Eric told her as he placed his hand on her shoulder. They're mocking me. Tasha barked. I have a quick getaway idea, Leo suggested.
It's either that, or we have to deal with a bunch of vamps. And right now, we're a bit of a time crunch.
Eric told him. Leo grabbed both Eric and Tasha by the shoulder, and a sky blue light warped around them. Eric and Tasha watched their surroundings faded away into blue, and then as the blue faded away, they were in Eric's kitchen.
Okay, that is handy.
Eric chuckled. I told you it was a quick getaway idea. Leo shrugged. Now what? Tasha asked. I'll contact Sparx and see if he was successful, Leo said. Then he closed his eyes and reached out his mind to reach his brother. Sparx and Van walked out of the Lost Portal and entered the Lost Dimension. I thought you said this was hell, Van asked. They stood there before a massive burnt orange sky with not one but two suns. Below them was a canyon, and in the center was a small camp. I never said it was hell, I said it was like hell. The Lost Dimension is made of pure negative energy, and where there's hatred and sadness and agony, no matter what, it can lead to some amazing, beautiful sights, Sparx explained. Yeah, I will say, it's quite beautiful. Van nodded. Come on, we better get going, Sparx told him, tapping him on the shoulder. Van, shotgun in hand, followed Sparx down the canyon trail and entered the camp. They walked over to a demonic-looking figure, a green-skinned demon with spikes all over his body. He looked up, breaking his gaze from the fire roaring in front of him. He clocked Sparx and he stood up and started panicking. Hey, Sparx, what are you doing here, man? The demon squealed. Hey, little Frank, I need some information, Sparx replied, crossing his arms. I don't do that stuff anymore, little Frank muttered. Well, I know that's a load of bollocks, Sparx chuckled. You're gonna hurt me, aren't you? Little Frank hissed. No, he is, Sparx replied, nodding towards Van. Van grinned and hopped over the small fire pit, swung his shotgun like a baseball bat, whacking little Frank in the legs. His body spun in a circle midair before slamming hard against the dusty ground. Then Van cocked his shotgun and placed the tip of the barrel against little Frank's overly large ears. Please, okay, what do you need? Little Frank cried out. Sparx closed the distance between them and knelt down beside little Frank with a flick of his coat. Where is Halaku? Sparx barked. He's on Earth, little Frank said. Sparx shot a lightning bolt from his palm, which scorched the ground centimeters in front of little Frank's face. I know that, dipshit. I'm on about exactly where. You work for Sanaku and Valaku, two devious bitches who will keep an eye on their baby brother. I need his exact location. Demon gods are immune to my new mystery powers, remember? Sparx replied. Okay, easy. He's in Hollywood. He lives by the big Hollywood sign, little Frank barked. He winced as the barrel of the shotgun dug into his temple. Sparx looked at Van and nodded. Then Van drew the shotgun away and little Frank sat up. Keep yourself safe, little Frank. Things aren't exactly safe right now, Sparx muttered. Then he walked away. Van looked at little Frank and shrugged at him, carrying his shotgun over his shoulders. Sparx and Van left the camp and walked up the canyon trail. Sparx's eyes turned red and Sparx threw a punch, and Fukaku opened the Lost Dimension portal, and both Sparx and Van walked through it as the portal closed. Sparx, Leo, Twilight, Huntress, Rosie, Desmond, Eric, Van, Bella, and Tasha all stood at the harbor.
Did you let the Order know that we are unavailable and that they should be on high alert?
Eric asked Tasha. For the 100th time, yes, Tasha replied with a whiny tone. So, who are these guys? Twilight asked. Ven let out a very disappointing sigh. They're friends of ours, Bella told him, following by a punch in her brother's shoulder. Then, from the shadows, three individuals walked out. There was a girl with a black stone embedded into her chest, a guy with glowing eyes, and a man with a sword on his back. Sparx could feel the raw negative power emanating from them, and Leo could see the negativity vibrating off the blade.
This is Logan, Dante, and Sophia. They've dubbed themselves the Misfits,
Eric stated. So, these are your new little friends, huh? Logan hissed. That they are, Bella nodded. Bella walked over and hugged Sophia. Hey girl, how's things? Bella asked. I'm good. We need to catch up soon, Sophia replied. Bella nodded and then Sparx and Leo advanced. Nice to meet you, Sparx said, holding out his hand. Logan pulled out his sword and swiped it at Sparx, forcing him to retract his hand quickly. It was a black blade. One side was completely normal, like an ordinary broadsword. The other side was rigged, cracked and chipped. The crossguard was shiny silver, and the handle was made of dark oak wood. On the handle was 3 numbers engraved in bright blue flame. The number read 759. "You're a demon," Logan growled. "Whoa, you are just like our Logan," Sparx chuckled. "Holy crap, yeah, Dante and Logan, we know you guys." Twilight gasped as he clicked on. Dante and Logan may have been standing right in front of them, hailing from the universe that the Mysteries were currently in, but Sparx and his team recognized them as well. They also had a Dante and Logan within their universe, who'd worked close by Sparx and Leo for many years and also become part of the Mysteries. "We don't know you," Dante growled.
Boys, easy. We're all friends here. Sparx and Leo and their team are helping us deal with someone playing with way too much power. Something I think we've all had experience in a little too much. So everyone just calm down and put the sword away, Logan.
Eric ordered. Logan let out a sigh and then he sheathed his sword and crossed his arms. "Fine, we're listening," Logan muttered. "I have a plan, and our opponent seems to know who the Order are and the Mysteries. We need someone else to execute some form of scout mission. Someone he won't see coming," Sparx told them. Van then walked over and dumped a large bag in front of them. Dante knelt down and unzipped it, revealing a large sum of money. "And we're willing to pay," Van stated. Dante stood up and looked at his team. Logan and Sophia both nodded at them. Then Logan stepped up to Sparx and held out his hand. "Now you have our attention," Logan stated. Sparx shook his hand and then started explaining the plan.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio.
Hosted by 3 cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
cosplay dude 637.
And Ty Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channel, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.